So, what are some of the ways to be a feminist? First and foremost, we should learn to challenge the stereotypes. Now, it's not easy coming out of a comfort zone. So, when you're coming out of that comfort zone, you have to have the thick skin. You have to prepare to be hated. You have to prepare to be not accepted. After all, Jesus was the savior and got killed by his own people. But we need to learn to challenge the stereotypes. For instance, this belief that either girls are good at maths, men are not, or there are some certain activities that it feels that men can do better than women. But then if somebody if you tell that I can't do something, that is exactly what I'm going to do. And then I prove to you, and then I prove to myself that I can do it out of spite. But it also helps me learn about myself that I'm able to go through this mile just to achieve what I need and I desperately want. Now, sometimes it's not that I want it, but it's to prove to you that your words don't really get to me. But if they do, then if it's bad, I have to work on it. Yeah. So I challenge myself to do that. So when you're getting out of these shells, you have to get prepared to be hated and loved in equal measure. But the first way is to challenge the stereotypes, especially, the societal pressures that demean women, that doesn't want women to be seen and heard. Some societies, women are just there. Like whatever I've said, it's just that we're in the 21st century where we are learned, but we still have these people, these cultures inculcated in us. So it's something that people have grown up with. Now, getting it out, getting a monkey out of the forest out of the monkey is very hard. The monkey can get out of the forest, could live in a city, but he'll still eat the banana. And if we give him grapes or something sweeter, the banana is only what he'll go for first if he sees it. So get ready for that. Two, support equality at home or at work. If there's one thing we need to learn is to treat each other with kindness. Leave alone even equality first. Just being kind is a virtue that is godly and it's just good. What hurts you if you're kind to people? Now, in the process of this, you'll be equal in terms of how you treat people, in terms of how you talk to people, in terms of how you give respect to the people. So it's very important that you ensure that when you're treating people, you give them the equal opportunities. So let the best man win. That is also bad. Let the best person win, to be include language. But yeah, it's important that we treat people fair. It starts from as simple as if you're talking about, most men are not used to washing plates. But if it's something that we have to define roles and there's nothing wrong. I have brothers that help me do chores at home, so I don't get the problem if a man helps you with washing plates or cooking. I have a father who does that, so sometimes I feel the shock that men say they can do one, two, three things that are meant for women, and vice versa. If the men are going to get the food, you can also help in getting that food. If chopping fire, we do chop the fire out, So there's no responsibility that one is women, one is man. Sometimes it's just common sense. Yeah. Three, now this is very harmful or hurtful to some of us. The use of inclusive language. Okay, sometimes like if we're talking about a head, it's English, but in the world where arguments are today, when you just include people, they feel like they're heard. They feel like they're being given the audience that they need. For example, in no offense to the Bible, but the Bible often refers to both men and women as man shall not, man. Then now somebody take that man out of context to suit whatever they want to mean. And it's just important that the language that we use is inclusive of all. So you can say everyone, or if you're talking about somebody chairing, so you can use chair, not chairman, just chair or chairperson. This use of inclusive language shows that both the genders are actually catered for, then it will reduce a lot of unnecessary topics or arguments and around this topic of feminism, because each and everyone will feel included. Yeah, so we should learn, we shouldn't add vocabulary. The fourth one, and the most important one to me, let us educate ourselves. Now, I have to admit that we have toxic feminists. Yeah, we have women who actually hate men. So if you're talking about a woman who hates men, that is not a feminist, or that one has her own dictionary meaning. I don't know, but that is not a feminist, because feminism is advocating equally for both men and women. So when you want to learn about being a feminist, look at these women like Chimamanda. Don't just anybody. Look at somebody who inspires you to be better. Look at somebody who has actually gone through it. Somebody who has a purpose as to why they chose to become that feminist that they are. Look at their background story. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie is one of my favorite people. Nigerian lady, very beautiful. And she openly talks about feminism. She's somebody who the parents taught from a very young age to question. She's just has the habits of questioning a lot of things. If you tell her that a woman can't sit here, a man is supposed to be sitting here, she'll be sitting and then asking herself why. Now she wants to find out why. She's just naturally a curious person. And her being a feminist is associated with some of the challenges she went through when, she first landed in America. That was the first time she actually knew she was black. Okay, go listen to her story. She has given a lot of explanations. But yeah, so let us educate ourselves concerning this feminism. So let's not put ourselves in, holes that we can't come out of, or things that we don't understand, or we want to define it as we believe in. So let's not misconstrue or redefine what feminism actually stands for to suit our own selfish needs. So let's educate ourselves on feminism first before we, judge anyone who is a feminist. Last but not least, we need to advocate for change. Now, this is my small community that I hope that I'll be able to reach to an audience. I hope that there's somebody who actually wants to listen to this. I hope that there's somebody who learns that they are not alone in this fight. It's hard when we get demeaned, we get abused, we get offended all the time. And I'm talking from experience. And I've got offended that it has become natural. It's no longer a problem. Yeah. So we can also start by it's just me being a teacher. I just talk to my students and I teach boys, try to inculcate the culture in them of respecting the females, learning to live with these people, learning to respect them, learning to help them wherever they need. But they also, I really want my boys to be inspired to be good people in the society, because as a teacher, if anything would make me happy is to see my boys, being out there and doing what they do best, being kind, but being powerful, being tolerable to good things and bad things, but just being